And so now I'm going to show you how to shape seeded sandwich rolls. And I have 1.5 kilo batch of dough. So I'm going to dust my floured workstation, and I'm going to start dividing this dough, and I'm going to divide it into what I like to use as hamburger buns, and I'm going to cut those at 120 grams. So about like that. And I have been underscaling, so I put a little extra piece of dough right sort of on the top of it. And I'm going to do 2 more at 120 grams. This is probably about 3 ounces. Then for my 4 seeded buns, what I've done is I've taken a sheet tray, and I've lined the sheet tray with parchment, and the parchment is sticking down with a little bit of oil. And so for these, this is a towel that I've wetted, and then these are sesame seeds. And so what I do is I shape each piece into a ball. And again, I'm using a lot of pressure when I'm shaping it into a round. And then I'm gonna take that round, I'm gonna sort of hold on to it like this, and I'm gonna wet the top of it really well. And then I'm going to dip it into the sesame seeds like this. And then I'm going to flip it right side up, and I'm going to put it on my sheet tray. And I'm going to finish the other pieces like that. If the dough seems to be dry on the surface and you're having a hard time and it's really slipping, you can sort of wet it on your towel, and that will help it to create a little bit of friction with your surface in your hands so you can round it better. If you notice, I'm not using any flour at all to shape these balls. This dough is really, really not very sticky at all. And I think that it's a great dough for that reason. So again, I'm taking the tops and I'm putting them in the damp towel, and then I'm rolling them in the sesame seeds. And my last one, I'm going to sort of wet it to help get me going. And then I'm going to hold on to the bottom of it and take it and dip it into the towel, and then I'm going to dip it into my sesame seeds. And now that they're shaped, I'm going to go back to them and I'm going to press them down. And I'm using a lot of pressure to press them down, and they'll pop back up again, and that's okay. And so these are going to proof for about 1.5 hours. And what I'm going to do, because I'm working in a really dry environment today, is I'm going to take this damp towel, and this helps prevent a skin from forming on top of the rolls, and so they'll proof with a damp towel on them. So these are going to go into a 350-degree oven, and I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to rotate them. Okay, so the seeded buns have been in the oven for 30 minutes now, and again, that's at 350 degrees, and I'm going to check them to see that they're done. And one of the things I always check with the bread is that hollow sound. These are pretty hot. And so these have a nice hollow sound, and so I'm going to also let these cool down. And that is how you make seeded sandwich rolls.